Welcome to the Mind of Business Success podcast. I'm your host, Alicia Cramer. I have a special treat today, my friend, Pavel Verbnyak. He is a personal development expert, and we're going to talk about all of my favorite topics. Welcome to the show, Pavel.
Thank you very much, Alicia, for invitation. It's great to be with you again.
So I have a lot of guests from all over the world. You are currently in Moscow.
Right.
But you are international. So when you're doing your thing and you're out traveling all over the world, helping people work on their success mindset, this really is an international movement that we're making here. It's not just you doing your thing in Russia, I'm doing my thing in the United States, somebody else over there is doing their thing in Australia. We're all coming together and putting out our message into the world, helping to inspire change and transformation, really on a global scale. Mm-hmm. So why don't you take a few moments and tell everybody about yourself, what you're doing. Tell us about your business.
Yes, Alicia, absolutely. Thank you. Around 15 years ago, or even 16 years ago, I was in my hometown. I was born in northwestern part of Russia, close to St. Petersburg in Finland. I was born in a regular family. I had just my mom and my grandfather and older brother. My father passed away when I was 7. And to be honest, we didn't have sometimes enough money to buy some clothes, to buy some things. And I just started to ask myself a question back in 2005. What's the difference between successful people and others? How can I achieve a little bit more in life than my family and peer group around, my friends? And I started to look for some information. I went to libraries. I went to find some information about that, biographies, autobiographies, psychology, business, books, everything. And when I had my first computer, I started to search my information in internet as well, Alicia. And my mindset, something inside myself started to change. I realized that success is predictable, is not an accident. And when I decide something, when I have a clarity what I want, I can do some actions and I can achieve that. And that books, that mentors, that role models, I had a conversation with through books. I didn't have money to buy seminars, to buy coaching. I just went and looked for some free information, books. And my mindset started to change. And for 2 years, I didn't see any difference, Alicia. I thought nothing changes. I have the same university life. I had the same sports life and friends. But I realized after 2 years that something started to change. And I found some small successes that, wow, that works. I started to form new habits. I started to love to read and find some new information, and my and people around started to change because I've changed. And that's the key. When you change inside, everything change outside. And then when you decide to change for the better, everything starts to change for the better. But it's slow. It's not fast track. It's not easy. Sometimes I thought it doesn't work. It's not for me. I'm in small city in Russia. It doesn't work here. And I had some limiting beliefs and fears. But step by step, and I know a lot of people who are listening us or watching right now us having some challenges as well. It doesn't really matter where you're coming from. decide exactly where you want to go, and the universe, the life, their nature will help you to get there. The law of attraction works all the time. We become what we think about most of the time, Alicia, and you know exactly what it means. And when you think about your goals, when you think about some ideas in these books, and when you watch and talk with different kind of people, you see that, wow, I can do that. And your self-confidence, self-esteem will grow up. And because of that, everything starts to change. And it's so wonderful. That was my transformational point. I believe that habit of constant and never-ending improvement can guarantee you to achieve your success, because your definition of success is unique, Alicia, and my definition is different, and dozens and hundreds and thousands of people who are going to listen us, their success is different. It's not only finances, it's not only financial success. It's also health, it's also relationships, it's also career or business and what you love to do, and absolutely, and finances as well. So you can achieve all of this. You can be abundant in material world, in finances. You can be healthy. You can have great relationships with friends and family members. Just decide exactly that you want to become better than you were yesterday, because all people are great, and sometimes we ask ourselves, oh, he is better, or she is better, she is smarter, he is more wealthy. No, you should ask, or did I become a little bit better than I was yesterday? And that's kaizen, that's personal, constant and never-ending improvement. You can achieve anything you want when you decide, when you make a decision, you want to achieve that. And when you make a decision, you take action, you develop yourself, you ask for help, you ask for recommendation, you ask for feedback, and you improve your action, you improve your everything. And that's amazing, Alicia. That's how I started. I didn't know that there's speaking, coaching career. I didn't know these words. I had this passion inside, fire inside. Wow, I want to become like my role models. I started to read Brian Tracy, Zig Ziglar, Jim Rohn, Tony Robbins, W. Clement Stone, Ralph Waldo Emerson, Leo Tolstoy. They all, everything about the same. We become what we think about most of the time. And when you eliminate from your mind, from your words, criticism, blaming others, negative words, you have more energy for abundant, great future, because your future is what you think, act, and talk right now. When you and you can change your future when you change your mindset, when you change your action. And that's probably their secret to there's no secrets of success, Alicia. We can model of successful people. We can, because all questions we ask ourselves, somebody already answered them. And yeah, and a lot of goals we set for ourselves, a lot of people before us achieve that goals, and we can model them. And that's how it works.
There are so many gold nuggets. We could easily unpack everything that you just said and probably do a multi-day workshop on all of those different pieces, because those really are some fundamental success principles. And I love that you referenced that quote from Earl Nightingale from The Strangest Secret. You become what you think about most of the time. A couple of years ago, that was a book that I gave away to my clients as a Christmas gift, because it is such a simple, profound statement. And we can see it in our lives. the things that you focus on, the things that, and that's Napoleon Hill talks about it, to have that burning desire, to
Yes.
have that magnificent obsession. When you are so focused on a specific objective, your mind pulls you in that direction. And the
Yes.
universe gives you all of these supporting circumstances and events and people. And, the right book comes at the right time, the right opportunity falls into place at exactly the right time. We start to connect with people that are the perfect people to get us to that next level. And it's just one event after the next, but it all starts with what's in your mind. Because most people, what ends up happening is they feel a desire and they take a couple of action steps. And like you said, it took a couple of years before you started to see some, it seemed to you that it wasn't working, that things weren't changing, but you were reconditioning your mind and you were
Absolutely.
changing your energy, and that
Yeah.
started to then change your life. And
Yeah.
now here you are today, you are an international speaker, you're an international trainer, you're going out and you're changing thousands and thousands of people's lives with the work that you're doing. And it all started because you reconditioned your mind
Yes.
and you kept that positive momentum going.
Yes. Yes. Yes, Alicia. And when we talking about, we become what we think about most of the time and ask question, what successful people thinking about most of the time? And they think about what they want and how to get this. 80% of their time, you remember Pareto Principle, 80-20 rule. So think about what you want and how to get this. And think on paper, Alicia. I write down my goals every single day because I reprogram my subconscious mind. And you said absolutely wonderful things right now, and you have the same. You are an expert in the psychology of success as well, Alicia, and we had a conversation about that. So when you think and when you write down some thoughts, some goals, some wishes, some dreams, you put the energy there, and you attract people, circumstances, opportunities into your life which are in harmony with your thoughts. And when you reprogram your subconscious mind, when you work with your limiting beliefs, your fears, when you focus on what you want and how to get this, I can see that in my life right now, Alicia. I just came 5 hours ago to Moscow, to my hometown, from different city to the north. I mentioned you before, working with politicians there and business people there. And 3, 5, 10 years ago, it was difficult for me to believe that I will have this kind of people in my cell phone, or like peer group or friends or clients, like business people, CEOs, ministers, politicians from different part of Russia and all over the world, talking with you from you're in different part of the world. I'm in Moscow, you are in Arizona.
Arizona.
Yeah, Alicia, Arizona, in this part of the United States. So that's so wonderful, Alicia. And it doesn't really matter where we're coming from. You had some challenges, absolutely. Me, I have some challenges. All of us have some challenges because we are alive. We are so blessed. We are champions. We have this gift as alive. We are so enjoy every single day. Decide exactly what you want, but enjoy the process. Enjoy every single day, every single moment, because we don't have past and we don't have a future yet. The power is now, as Eckhart Tolle said, right? The same book. So we have power just now, and we can control our thoughts, we can control our emotion, we can control our actions, we can control our results. So you can create a masterpiece from your life when you decide exactly that you want to achieve something wonderful in your personal or professional life. And you can become a successful and happy person in personal and professional life. You can be a healthy, wealthy, Just decide that you are valuable, you are worthy of that. And if you have low self-esteem, use affirmations, use tapping EFT. You're an expert in that, Alicia. Use visualization, meditation. There are dozens of different beautiful techniques: theta healing, coaching, psychotherapy, psychology. Just when you decide that, oh, I have this limitation, you can find a tool. We live in 21st century. We are not like 80th century. We live better than kings and presidents in different centuries before. So we are so blessed. So be grateful for that. When we are grateful, we cannot feel negative emotions. We cannot have fears. When you're grateful, you attract beautiful things in your life. And that's how it works, Alicia. And also what helps me to talk about this, to discuss these ideas with you right now, Alicia, because I invest first couple of hours of my mornings. I'm in 5 a.m. club, and I know you wake up early also as well. So I invest couple of my first hours, golden hour of power in myself. I do some exercise, I do something for my body, I do some for my mind. I read or listen audiobook or podcast. I do my visualization meditation techniques. It could be 10 minutes, 15 minutes, doesn't matter. And I do learning. It's like I take my morning meal, meditation, exercise, affirmation, learning. So that's helped me to be in this in this statement, in this energy level, and also be. I'm very careful about what I eat. Not here we become what we eat, we become what we think about, but also in food, real food, because it's very important as well. I take care of my schedule, of my daily routine, and of my relaxed time, because it's very important as well. And you mentioned that you didn't have breaks for 2 weeks. Now this weekend you're going
It's
to
on the
relax.
calendar. It is on the calendar.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. And that's how it works. So books are great tools. Read more books, read more great books. I'm showing you my mentor and friend Jack Canfield book. I'm certified trainer with Jack Canfield. I took his year program back in 2014, and the year program in the US. It was great time, great people there. Brian Tracy, amazing mentor and friend of mine as well. A beautiful, nice fiction book. You can learn from fiction book as well. Non-fiction, a lot of beautiful non-fiction books as well you can find, because we become what we think about most of the time, and we become what kind of books we read, what kind of movies we watch, what kind of conversation we have, what kind of friend we have. So take care of that as well. And your mindset, your inner self change, and your outside world will change for the better.
There are a couple of things that I want to focus in on, because you had included so many things. Like literally somebody could take and they could transcribe this interview and they could say, this is the recipe for being a more successful, empowered version of myself. But there are a couple of things that I really want to highlight. And a part of it is those limiting beliefs that people come up against. And you had used the word tools, and that is a word that I always use. In fact, I refer to the different techniques that I use with my clients and that I teach my clients as tools. They are just that, because we can shift a lot of things just through setting an intention, just through making a committed decision, and seeing objectively some of the old beliefs and habits that we've held onto in the past. When you start to look at things objectively, you can actually release a lot of things very, very quickly. But there are sometimes those sticky issues that really, really do trip people up. And that's where those tools are so valuable. Doing things like EFT or hypnosis or various different NLP techniques, or you had mentioned a whole bunch of them. Many of them I have tried, I have used, I may use them religiously to a certain
Yes.
extent, but we have to sometimes uproot some of those old disempowering things when you feel like you're stumbling over the same patterns over and over and over again. That's where you have to do a little bit of that deeper work. But the majority of the time, and I always teach this to my clients, the majority of the time you should be focused on what you want and where you're going. Because as you're on that journey, that's when you're going to trip over the old stuff that's going to require the attention, and it's going to require those tools to help uproot some of those old disempowering programs. But the majority of the time, going back to Pareto's principle, the 80-20 rule, the majority of the time you need to be focused on what do you want?
Yes.
Building yourself up, creating that environment, that mental and physical environment,
Yes,
for success. And that does include taking that time in the morning. And that's so great. I want to just highlight this real quick because a lot of people don't know this. But there is that golden time right after you wake up and right as you're drifting off to
yes,
sleep, when you are in a heightened state of suggestibility. Your mind is open, wide open. And that is like the power 15 minutes, the power half an hour, the power hour, if you can extend it out that long,
yeah,
to be filling yourself with empowering affirmations, really nurturing
yes.
your growth and propelling yourself forward. Do you want to talk a little bit on that?
Absolutely, Alicia. Thank you very much. Yeah, absolutely. It's called golden hour, but you can start from 5 minutes. It doesn't really matter. Start from 5 minutes. For example, if you wake up at 7, tomorrow wake up at 6:55. Next day, 6:50. Just add 5 more minutes or 10 more minutes. You shouldn't start uh, waking up 2 hours earlier than before. It's not I always say to my friends and clients that it's not difficult to wake up early. It's difficult to go to bed early. Sometimes for most people, if you go to bed like at midnight, no, you shouldn't wake up at 5. You should sleep, because sleep is very important for our mind, for all of the body processes and everything. But yeah, just start from 5-10 minutes. You see the difference. You start to control yourself. You start to control your life. You will become a little bit more peaceful, a little bit more confident, because you woke up earlier. You spent 5 minutes for yourself. You don't in a hurry. You don't go to your office without breakfast because you woke up and you should go. No, you wake up, you know that you have 5 or 10 or 30 minutes for yourself. You should take, like, write journal or your goals. You should think about your day, your meetings today, people are what goals you want to achieve today, your long-term goals. Very important to think about. Write down I usually write down my 10 major long-term goals every single day. And I don't want that. Brian Tracy taught me. And I don't see what I wrote down yesterday. I just write down again. And that's very nice. And that's very important. Very important. And doesn't really matter you um, go to bed late. You can change that. That's a habit. Optimism is also a skill. It's a habit. System. It's everything. Every skill, business skill, is learnable. You can learn any skill you want. You want to become more productive, you can learn that. You can become more confident speaker, public speaker, you can learn that. Nobody was born effective leader or great expert EFT practitioner or something like that. You can learn that. But you should decide exactly what you want, because you have these dreams, you have these goals, you have these wishes, and dreams and wishes and goals coming to us for a reason. You can achieve that. If you have these wishes, if you have these dreams, that's a sign, or I want to go there. That's I'm here for, on this planet, on this body. Just listen to your heart, listen to your dreams, and work on them, because your dreams, your wishes can be alive just because of you on this planet and this body. A lot of people, unfortunately, when they have 2 days, a week, or a 1 hour to live, and some of their dreams and wishes coming to say bye to them, and they have to go with that person because they had an opportunity to be alive because of that person, but they have to go with them, with that person, when he's dying or she is dying. So that's how it works, and we are so blessed to be alive, and we are here for a reason, because everyone is a unique person, and nobody was like you, and nobody going to be like you. So you have strengths, you have some weaknesses. That's good. We are human beings, not a robot yet. So we'll see. So that's very, very deep subject, and you have great deep questions, Alicia. Yes, please continue.
So what you just shared there is it's a principle that's come up on other episodes as well, and that's don't live a life that is going to leave you with regrets when it comes to the end of your life.
Yes.
And I think a lot of times we're so busy living life that we forget how really valuable this opportunity is. Now, I want to shift gears just a little bit, and I want to ask you. Now, you shared a little bit about your background and where you came from and how you got to where you are today, but I'd love to just kind of pick your brain a little bit and find out, what is maybe a mindset obstacle that you personally had to overcome to get to where you are today?
Yes. As I mentioned before, Alicia, it's never-ending process. I still work on my mindset. I still work on my habits and skills. But one of them I would love to mention you, Alicia. I was born in 1987. It was a different country called Soviet Union. And in 1990s it's not easy time in Russia and former Soviet republics. And before 1991, when Soviet Union was collapsed, it wasn't nobody had an opportunity to build businesses and talk about money and financial successes. It was social world, and I mean communist world. And when I realized that I had some limitation about money, I started to work on them, because in my mindset, in my family, it wasn't easy to talk about money, and for some of them, like wealthy people was not really good people, and money, it's not for us, or it's something from different world. It's dangerous to have more money, on subconscious money, on cell memory, on DNA. And if you know a little bit history of Soviet time, in 1920s, in 1930s, wealthy people were like, I forgot how to say in English, Alicia, but it was dangerous to have more money there. And on DNA, in and I forgot this word, but probably you understand what I mean, Alicia. If I didn't have this in my personal experience, I had that on my DNA, memory, and I had to find the tools to fix that, to change that poor mindset to wealthy mindset, and I still work on that. And I found some great tools. I help to clients to eliminate that limitation on money, limitation on health, limitation on relationships. And emotional freedom techniques is great tool as well. There are dozens of great tools. And probably that's what I wanted to share with you, Alicia, because I had some fears about money. I had some limitations about money. I didn't have, and I had some great stories about that, Alicia. When I realized that I want to become a financial free, I started to attract some opportunities to my life. But I've attracted some opportunities, people, financial relationship, career, on something, but on subconscious level, that I attracted on conscious level, but on subconscious level, I had some sabotage. I did something to say no to that opportunity. No. I'm in this comfort zone. So, but I realized that different people come into my life, different opportunities, but my reaction was the same. I don't want to have this money. I don't want to have this income. And I started to work on that, and I started to clear, to fix that, to put some good beliefs, and I had to eliminate some negative beliefs. And I found that, wow, that works. And that's why we have this conversation with you, Alicia, because I had some successes on that, on limiting beliefs, on fears about wealth, about abundance, about prosperity, health, and success in family life. And it's okay. Everyone have some limitations. Everyone have had different kind of parents, different kind of experiences. It could be negative experience, it could be bad, challenging times, but it doesn't really matter. That's experience, that's opportunities to make you stronger, to make you better, to prepare yourself for something beautiful in your life.
Absolutely. There's so much more we could talk about. I know it.
Yes.
We could easily go on so many different tangents because there really is a lot of value in understanding the science of success, really.
Yeah.
But since we are almost out of time, I have to make sure that our listeners know how they can connect with you. So can you please share with us, how can people get in contact with you?
Yes. Alicia, first of all, I want to thank you for great questions, great conversation. You're so wonderful person to talk with. You listen, you ask nice questions, so wonderful. Thank you very much again. I'm on Facebook, I'm on LinkedIn. I have a website, mylastname.com. It's in Russian yet, but probably you can translate it. Google Translate. It's not easy. It's not difficult. I suppose. I'm on Instagram. I'm in social media, so you can, dear friends, dear followers, listeners, if you have some questions, if you think I can help you with some tools or something, please let me know. Send me a private message, or call me in WhatsApp, or do something. And I would love to help you, because for these 15, 16 years, a lot of people helped me. And I have a lot of mentors and role models, as you do, Alicia. And I want to be a role model and mentor for others as well. Yeah, absolutely. You can find this information. You can you can invest $300,000 as I do. I invested around $300,000 in my personal development, and you can do that yourself. Invest 10 or 20 years, but you can find a person like Alicia, like myself, like different people we mentioned, and ask what they did, and you can save your time and money. And that's how important to have coach and mentor and speaker and trainer and expert who or author of book who already invested 20 or 30 years in that subject. So ask for help, ask for recommendation, ask. That's one of the great success principle. And somebody will help you, somebody will say you what to do. And that's my mission, to help you as well.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Pavel. This has been a fantastic conversation. So many nuggets, so much gold, so much value. I think that it is hard to take it all in. And so this is one of those episodes that people might have to listen to a couple of times.
Yes, thank you very much, Alicia. You're so warm, nice, beautiful woman. It's very nice talking with you, and great expert. So dear friends, if you have some challenges with your limitations, fears, EFT, Alicia will help you.
Well, thank you again, Pavel. And thank you to all of our listeners. If you haven't already subscribed, do yourself a favor. Make sure you subscribe. There are so many great conversations with incredible people. And until next time, we'll see you in the next episode.
Thank you very much. Bye.